Peace, love, and law. Welcome everybody. It's been a while since I made a video. I got some catching up to do. So today I wanted to read and start to read this Senior Courts Act of Belize, because I want to learn more about this senior courts. I've been reading more about equity, and so it would benefit anybody, including myself, to read this, if especially if the intention is to bring something to the High Court in matters pertaining to maybe claims of interest or claims in equity, or to bring some claim in equity in personam against certain trustees that have breached their trust. So we're going to start off with part one, preliminary. So I'm just going to read past this really quick, and just so we can see what this whole thing is about, right? So they're breaking it up right here into different, they're arranging it in sections, right? So there's different sections here. So this is part one, preliminary. So it starts off with short title, interpretation, and administration of senior court. It says here, number 4, reference to Supreme Court to be deemed a reference to the High Court. Now part 2 talks about the High Court. Subpart 1 is in reference to officers of the High Court, etc. Number 5, interpretation of this part. 6 is seal. 7, establishment of the officer of master. So section 7 is the establishment of the master, or the office of the master. Number 8, section 8 is appeals. 9 is procedure where hearing is not concluded. 10 is the registry and the registrar. 11 is the registrar to have power of judge in chambers. Okay, that's pretty good. 12, deputy registrar and assistant registrars. 13 is about salaries of registrar, deputy registrars, and assistant registrars. 14 talks about qualifications of registrar. 15 is registrar to administer oaths. 16 is assessment of costs. 17 is judicial assistant. Marshals, deputy marshals, assistant marshals, and other officers. 18 is marshals, deputy marshal, assistant marshal, and other officers again. 19, officers to be under direction of Chief Justice. 20, duties and liabilities of marshals and etc. 21, duties of officers of the court generally. 22, appointment of commissioners and their powers. 23, employment of experts and referees. Subpart 2 talks about divisions and jurisdiction of the High Court. So section 24 section 24 is divisions of the court into civil and criminal. So it's divided into civil and criminal. There you go. 25 is jurisdictions, powers, and authorities of the court. Section 26 is jurisdiction, insolvency, etc. Section 27, jurisdiction of the court in relation to infants and in relation to persons mentally incapable of governing themselves. That's interesting. 28, exercise of civil jurisdiction. 29, proceedings in court and proceedings in chambers. Section 30 is exercise of criminal jurisdictions. Section 31, appeal from inferior courts. Section 32, declaring court a colonial court of admiralty. Section 33, power to reduce interest. Section 34, injunctions and appointments of receivers. Section 35, power to make orders in cases not provided for. Section 36, saving of jurisdiction. And Section 37 talks about writ of habeas corpus. Subpart 3 is law and equity. Interesting. That's where it gets super interesting. 38 is law and equity to be concurrently administered. It could be commercial law and equity to be concurrently administered. 39 is equities of claimant. 40 is equitable defenses. Section 41, counterclaims and third parties. Section 42, equities appearing incidentally. Section 43, defense or stay instead of injunction or prohibition. Defense or stay instead of injunction or prohibition. 44, common law and statutory rights and duties. Interesting. 45 is determination of matter completely and finally. Section 46, rules of equity prevail. Interesting. So far so good. We're at subpart 4, sittings of the court and vacation. Wow, all right. Section 47, division of country into districts. Section 48, distribution of business. Okay, it's about business. 49, continuous sittings in criminal jurisdiction. Continuous sittings in criminal jurisdiction. Okay. Section 50, disposal of business before 2 or more courts. Section 51, sittings in civil jurisdiction. Section 52, continuance of sittings and adjournment. Section 53, places of sitting of court. Section 54, holding of sitting in another place. Section 55 talks about sitting in northern and southern districts. Section 56 is venue in criminal proceedings. Okay, that's interesting. I want to know more. Section 57 talks about venue in civil actions. 58, change of venue. Section 59, business in chambers. Section 60 is sitting, a special sitting. Section 61 is attendance of jurors and special sittings. Section 62, attendance of police at sittings. Section 63, vacation and holidays. Section 64, delivery of judgment in vacation. Okay, it sounds like fun. Section 65, general business of the court. Got serious all of a sudden. Subpart 5, practice and procedure. Section 66, regulation of practice and procedure in the several jurisdictions of the court. In the several jurisdictions of the court. There's a few of them. Okay. 67, reference for report. Section 68, reference for trail. 69, powers and I always can't pronounce this for some reason. I don't know what's up with me. Remuneration of referees and arbitrators. Section 70, court to have powers, as in references by consent. Okay, let me read that again. Section 70, court to have powers, as in references by consent. Okay. Section 71, statement of case pending arbitration. Section 72, power of court to impose terms as to costs. Section 673, saving for government. Okay. 74, explanation of term reference. Section 75, exercise of jurisdiction in summary procedure. Section 76, prescribing summary procedure. Section 77, determination by summary procedure of action of tort commenced in the court. Section 78, persons by whom process may be served. Section 79, return or endorsation of service. Section 80, persons signing return of service fastly or without authority. Fastly, falsely. Persons signing return of service falsely or without authority. There you go. Section 81, writs and their execution. Section 82, execution of warrants of arrest. Section 83, service of process by non-commissioned police officer. Okay. Section 84, procedure by registrar. Section 85, officers of court in respect of particular duties. Section 86, writ of subpoena. Section 87, writ of habeas corpus ad testificandum. Section 88, appeals in habeas corpus proceedings. Section 89, compelling attendance of witness by warrant or by order. Section 90, writs of subpoena, etc. rules. Section 91, allowance to witnesses in civil cases. Section 92, party on whose behalf witness called to pay allowance. Section 93, fees and costs to be prescribed by rules of the court. Section 94, disallowance of costs in certain cases. Section 95, fees for arrests and apprehensions. Section 96, place of payment of fees. 97, keeping of cash fee book. 98, furnishing of half yearly list of unclaimed monies. It's interesting. Section 99, effects of monies remaining unclaimed for 5 years. You see, this is interesting. The unclaimed money. You know why this is interesting? Because if you go to, we're gonna just really quick. Let's see. I think I got it right here. It's the income tax. No, this is a blue bond. General sales tax. Here it is. This is the one. Is it the? Let me see. The definition of money. Yes, it's supposed to be right here. Alright, we're talking about money, right? And now we're talking about money. Where is it? Oh no, you know what? General sales tax. No, I think it's in general income tax. It's not a sales tax. Hold on. Where is it? Let's do this. General income tax. Belize. Let's see. There you go. Ring a ding ding. There you go. So we come here. There you go. Wait a minute. Is it right here? Income tax. There you go. No, maybe it could have been in the general sales tax. Maybe I'm just tripping. Let's see. General sales tax. That's a bill. No, this isn't even it. Hold on, shit. Well, here you go. Yeah, it's probably here. Yep, it's right here. There we go. There you go. See here. So if you see, it says right here, where are we reading this? You see? So we right here, reading the Senior Court Act. Talk about furnishing of half-yearly list of unclaimed monies. Yeah, talk about monies unclaimed. Effects of monies remaining unclaimed for 5 years. You know, like, okay, is this what they're referring to? All of this right here. It talks about any coin, any paper currency, whether of Belize or of another country. You know what I mean? Any a negotiable instrument used or circulated or intended for use or intended for circulation as currency, whether of Belize or of another country. Bill of exchange. Promissory note. That's the bail bond, right? That's the bail, the thing that we sign, right? And then the bill is what? The orders. The orders. Orders to pay and the promises to pay. Right? The money orders. Similar instruments. He's right there. Whatever is supplied as payment by way of a credit card or debit card, crediting a debit of account, or the creation or transfer of a debt. I promise to pay the king. Please set me free and give me bail. And that's what you gotta sign. Just saying, right? Is that, you know, and when I see this, I just think of that. I'm not saying that's what, I can't prove intention, but I can see what I'm reading. And I mean, I could ask questions. Is this what you mean? Is this what you mean? Unclaim this? Alright, just asking. Anyway, back to it. Default of registrar. Okay, power to make rules in section 101. Okay, so we're here at subpart 6. Sorry about those dolls in the background. They're going crazy. But subpart 6, provisions relating to districts. Section 102. Officers required to attend sittings. 103, conveyance of records to and from Northern District and Southern District. Section 104, deputy registrar for the districts. Section 105, drawing up of judgment or drawing up of order in the districts. See that order, drawing up an order. You see, that's a draft. They're drafting orders to pay. Yeah, that's what they're doing. It's all securities. Subpart 7, contempt of court. Dun dun dun. 106. Punishment for criminal contempt. Section 107. Right of appeal to court of appeal. Section 108. Contempt of court committed in presence of the court. Contempt of court committed in presence of the court. Okay. Section 109, extent of powers of court touching contempt. Section 110, disposal of fees. Section 111, criminal contempt of court. So, okay. So it's criminal contempt right here. Subpart 8, appellate jurisdiction. Section 112, right of appeal from decision of inferior court. Section 113, regulating appeal from decision of inferior court. Section 114, court to have control of security. Ooh, really interesting. Interesting. I like it already. I love it. Section 115, provisions to apply to cases between the government and the subject. Okay. Section 116, available grounds of appeal. Section 117, appeal not to operate as stay of execution. Section 118, limitation of hearing by grounds of appeal. Section 119, objection of form to grounds of appeal. Oh, objection to the form. Oh, it's all about objection to the form. Not the substance, the form. Section 120, objection of form to information or conviction. Section 121, defects in proceedings under appeal. Section 122, error or defect in notice of appeal or recognizance. Section 123, power of the court within regard to new evidence. Section 124, power of the court generally. Section 125, review on application of the Director of Public Prosecutions. Okay. Section 126, application to the court to compel magistrate to entertain complaint. Yeah, man, those words they use is freaking weird, dude. I mean, entertain complaint. What is it? You know what I mean? Like entertain. They're gonna act a role, right? And entertain a complaint. That's wild. Yeah, those use of words are pretty impressive. Section 127, application to the court to compel magistrate or to compel justice to do act. Okay, so justice would this be a equity, and then the magistrate is dealing with more like the law, like like the forms, right? The business aspect of it, the legal title aspect of it. This is more like the trustee, beneficial interest kind of thing right here. Okay, so we can read more on this in section 127. Section 128 is service of documents. Section 129, definition of magistrate in this part. Okay, interesting. Section 130, saving of Governor General's prerogative of pardon. Okay, so remember, the Governor General is not elected by the people, right? And it says in section 30 of the Constitution that the Governor General represents the crown. This is Majesty, Her Majesty, right? Okay, it's the crown. So it's very interesting to see this. He's saying section 131, pending appeals. Section 132, rules. Now it goes into subpart 9, which is matrimonial causes and matrimonial matters. Section 133, grounds of petition for divorce. Okay. Section 134, petition within 2 years of marriage. Section 135, divorce by consent of parties. Okay. Section 136, meaning of separation. Section 137, separation orders. Section 138, effect of presumption of cohabitation. Section 139, mediation. Section 140, decree nisi for divorce or nullity of marriage. Interesting. Section 141, application for discharge of decree. Section 142, remarriage of divorced persons. Section 143, okay, decree of judicial separation. Section 144, divorce proceedings after grant of judicial separation or other relief. Section 145, additional grounds for decree of nullity. Section 146 talks about proceedings for decree of presumptions of debt and dissolutions of marriage. Dissolution, you know how I learned about this word dissolution? I registered a company, right? But I was learning how to do all this. I was trying things out, and when it was done, I looked at him and said, "Hey man, is this a sole proprietor that you gave me?" And it was. And I was like, "No, I want an LLC." He said, "Oh, you gotta get a dissolution of your entity or your company." I was like, "What the hell is that?" So that's when I found out about this, right? It's just like, it's to dissolve it, to dissolve it, to do away with it, to go through the process of just dissolving it. So yeah, I know it's supposed to be obvious, but I'm just saying, wait a minute, dissolution. Section 147, time at which proceedings for alimony etc., may be commenced in suits for divorce or nullity. Section 148, jurisdiction in the case of spouse's change of domicile. Section 149, jurisdiction where a spouse domiciled abroad and another spouse resident in Belize. Okay. Section 150, declaration of interest in property and alteration of property rights. Whoa. This is interesting. Sheesh, I want to start reading this, man. Where are we? Like a million more? What's going on here, man? There you go. Sheesh. 12 pages of just stuff. There's like all of this. 12 pages of all of it. Anyway, section 151, power to set aside orders altering property rights and interests. Okay. 152 is about appeals. 153, interpretation of phrases used in section 154 to 158. Okay. Interpretation of phrases. Section 154 is declaration of interest in property and alteration of property rights in separation in common law union. Okay. 155. Power to set aside orders altering property rights and interests in separation, common law union. Section 156, appeals in separations in common law union. Section 157, transfer of property to avoid court orders to be void. Section 158, maintenance of in respect of parties to a common law union. Section 159, applicable law and proceedings under section 148 and 149. Jurisdiction. Okay, gotcha. The section 160, declaration of legitimacy. So this tells us what all the declarations they can be done. This is pretty cool. That's nice. Section 161 is alimony. Section 162, custody of children. Section 163, spouse's property in case of judicial separation. Section 164, protection of third parties. Section 165, powers to vary orders. Section 166, power to allow intervention on terms. Section 167, evidence of husband or evidence of wife admissible or to prove marital intercourse. Okay. Section 168, certain evidence in nullity proceedings to be in camera. Subpart 10, probate causes and probate matters. Section 169, grant of probate and grant of probate and letters of administration. Section 170, proof of will in solemn form. Section 171, certain decrees, etc., may be set aside. Section 172, contested cases to be tried in open court. Section 173, probate, etc., may be granted to a person other than the one entitled. May be granted to someone. That makes sense. 174, rules. Subpart 11, general. Here are the rules. Section 175, power of court to award interest on debts and damages. Section 176, judgment, debts to carry interest. Section 177, restriction on institution of vexation actions. Section 178, relief against forfeiture for non-payment of rent. Section 178, execution of instruments by order of court. Section 180, abolition of information in the nature of quo warranto. Abolition of information in the nation of quo warranto. Nice. Section 181, objections for the purpose of appeal. Section 182, jurisdictions with respect to foreigners. Section 183, procedure in case of imprisonment. Section 184, restriction on officers' purchase of property sold at execution. Section 185, judgments of the High Court. Section 186, virtual hearings and trials of the High Court. Part 3, Court of Appeals, Subpart 1, preliminary interpretation of this part. Powers and jurisdiction of the Court of Appeal. Section 189, exercise of jurisdiction of the Chief Justice. Section 190, appointment of a justice of the High Court to be a member of the Court of Appeal. Section 191, judges of the Court of Appeal. Section 192, seal. Section 193, establishment of the office of Chief Registrar. Section 194, judicial assistants and other officers of the Court of Appeal. Section 195, quorum of court. Section 196, rules of court. Section 197, practice directions. Section 198, procedure and practice. Subpart 2 of Civil Appeals. Section 199, jurisdiction of court. Section 200, jurisdiction to continue civil appeals. Section 201, when appeals lie. When they lie? Section 202, time for appealing. Section 203, sitting down of appealing for hearing. Section 204, security for costs. Section 205, powers of court in appeal in civil matters. Section 206, additional powers of court in hearing appeals in civil matters. Section 207, power of court as to new trials. Section 208, wrong rulings as to sufficiency of stamps. Subpart 3, criminal appeals. Section 209, right of appeal against conviction on indictments. Section 210, right of appeal against deportation and expulsion orders. Section 211, appeals from inferior court. Section 212, date from which appeals shall lie. Section 213, time for appealing. Section 214, filing of notice of grounds of appeal. Section 215, cost of appeal. Section 216, determination of appeals in ordinary cases. Section 214, powers of court in special cases. Section 218, revesting and restitution of property on conviction. Section 219, supplementary powers of court. Section 220, computation and commencements of sentence. Section 222, stay of execution. Section 223, stay of order pending appeal. Section 224, judge's notes and report to be furnished on appeal. What's going on with these words right here, man? I don't trust these words, man. Section 225, legal aid. Section 226, right of appellant to be present. Section 227, duty of director of public prosecution. Section 228, duties of chief registrar with respect to notice of appeal, etc. Section 229, powers which may be exercised by a single judge. Section 230, case stated or question of law reserved. Section 231, provisions of this act applicable to case stated or question of law reserved. Section 232, case stated by High Court at request of court. Section 233, reference to Court of Appeal of point of law following acquittal on indictment. Section 234, provisions of this act applicable to appeals from inferior courts. Section 235, prerogative of mercy. Section 236, appeal by director of public prosecutions. Subpart 4, contempt of court, punishment for criminal contempt. Section 238, right of appeal to Caribbean Court of Justice. Section 239, extent of powers of court touching contempt. Section 240, disposal of fines. Disposal of fines. Okay. Section subpart 5, general. Section 241, virtual hearings and trials of the Court of Appeal. Part 4, miscellaneous. Section 242, recusal. Section 243, reserved judgment. Section 244, transcript. Section 245, repeal and savings. Schedule 1, Schedule 2. That was it. Well, I don't think many people stay with me all the way, but this is just mainly for public notice and public record that I am doing my due diligence to read up on these acts, and I will see you in the next video where I will continue reading. Peace, love, and law.